Panyaza Lesufi is now going to join us, and we're going to ask him, as leader of the ANC in Gauteng, how he, of course, is feeling about these results. So we are going to find out from him how he feels about what has been happening today. There's certain questions to put to him, of course, in a moment as well. Inakhodongwana, the finance minister, that is the person that we're going to be talking to. So lots of reaction coming through over the last little while and over the next little while about the ANC election results and about how people see things. Of course, we've seen in Gauteng some interesting developments. You may recall just yesterday, Lebogang Maile speaking, it seemed, on behalf of the ANC leadership in Gauteng, basically saying that there was no reciprocity, and as a result, people in Gauteng were going to vote for Dr. William Kize rather than President Cyril Ramaphosa. We'll find out how Panyaza Lesufi feels a little bit about that in just a moment, as the leader of the ANC in Gauteng and, of course, the Premier in Gauteng. So a lot of reaction to come as we go through the afternoon. Don't forget, Colleen Gumby will be with you as well in around 45 minutes or so to continue going through the evening. Well, Panyaza Lesufi joins me now, the Premier of Gauteng and the leader of the ANC in that province. Mr. Premier, good afternoon. I really appreciate the time.
Thank you so much. Thanks, you.
Yesterday we saw Lebogang Maile appearing to indicate that delegates of the ANC in Gauteng should vote for Dr. William Kize. Are you disappointed with today's result?
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Steve. When I was here, I think I indicated that the lobbying was intense, difficult, and sometimes painful, I must be honest, because in some instances people have a certain view, and then there are some members of the ANC in Gauteng that also had a view that now that our candidate in particular, Comrade Paul Mashatile, was not accommodated by people that we thought we work with, they were of the view that they need to go and lobby someone. We remained because we really felt that there's still an opportunity, and we are quite happy that on the basis of that, the candidate that the branches of Gauteng and the PC of Gauteng has taken a decision on to be the president of the ANC was finally elected by delegates of conference to be the president of the ANC.
You say it was painful.
Very difficult, I must be.
I mean, I've known you for a long time. You almost look like you're feeling a bit betrayed.
Not necessarily. There are issues that you as a leader, you'll see them differently from another person. And especially when you don't have time to sit down and every hour counts, every minute counts. I mean, you're quite aware that Gauteng was the last province to vote. And that on its own was not out of our own making. It's because we're trying just to push a certain narrative, and finally that narrative has won. I mean, out of the top 7, literally 5 come from Gauteng, so it's an indication that we have produced leaders, but because they're there now, they're no longer representing Gauteng. They have to represent and carry everyone, and we urge them also to do that. The renewal agenda can't be successful if you isolate people on the basis that they carry a different view. Now that they are leaders, let's ensure that they lead everyone.
It was fascinating to me to see how close the race for deputy leader was. We were expecting, and if you looked at the nominations as they came out several weeks ago, Paul Mashatile was getting support from almost every province, apart from Mpumalanga, Ronald Lamola, apart from the Eastern Cape, Oscar Mobiani, but everywhere else he was getting support. And in the end, it was much closer.
Well, there's a problem of people don't understand the African National Congress. The first one that many people made the hullabaloo on was the gender representativity when the nominations were made. Everyone felt that the ANC has missed an opportunity to affirm women, and we indicated this was just a nomination. The second one was the nomination of certain individuals. I mean, if we based on nominations alone, even the position of the president was just a runaway win for the president. But the reality is that when you enter conference, things change, and they change intensively. And on the issue that we've just raised of the deputy president, you can see the combination of Minister Lamola's numbers and Oscar's numbers. If they were combined, it was going to be neck on neck with the president. But the mere fact that 3 people stood representing different generations and delegates felt that Paul Mashatile should be the deputy president, I think it's an affirmation that there's democracy within the institutions of the ANC.
So we had the situation, you talk about the painful deals, we had a situation where we saw Maile making certain points yesterday. We have what actually happened in the end. Are there going to be divisions in Gauteng over what happened here?
Not necessarily. I mean, I spoke to MEC Maile, Comrade Maile, early this morning. I also spoke with the Provincial Secretary TK because myself and Comrade TK were mandated by the PEC to be the lobbyist on behalf of the province. We solicited MEC Maile. Actually, we even invited him to join us when we were going to lobby the president a day before conference. We went as a province to go and assure the president of our support. So whatever changed yesterday, we had to manage it. But I'm convinced it's water under the bridge. We spoke, and on the basis of our decision, we said that let's rally behind the leadership and move along with President Cyril Ramaphosa and the other top 6 members of our national office bearers. So we've solved it. It's fine. It's water under the bridge.
You say you've got 5 members of the top 7. I expect some arguments about that at some point. KwaZulu-Natal has none. What do you think they did wrong?
It's because of not elected provinces, we've elected national leaders. All of them were members of the NEC, which represent everyone. So there's no province that have won, there's no province that have lost. I think I'm of the view that there's no individual that has won and individual that have lost. The ANC has won. Let's be quite frank. I'm one person that monitors indicators very closely. The rent was jittery. Our international relations offices were jittery. Investors, potential investors were jittery. And in an environment of a conference that delays, that can't meet its own timetable, that comes at the cost of a country. So the mere fact now that we finalized this part, I'm more relieved than any other thing. And we've seen everything is stabilized. There is a general acceptance of the outcome. Economically, there's a general acceptance of the outcome in terms of our international partners, because we have to also take them into consideration. I mean, for the very, very first time, we had almost close to 70 international guests that came to give us, and all of them have indicated their support. So from where I stand, we have a product. What we need to do, and which is the edge I want to give to ANC members, if we can treat 2024 as a potential danger for all of us, would have missed the point. If there is something that we need to do, is to fall in a trap of thinking that we need to prepare for 2024 in 2024, or prepare for 2024 late in 2023. Actually, this conference should be a conference like when we're taking a decision to suspend the armed struggle or to continue the armed struggle on the basis of 2024, which will determine whether the ANC will still exist or not in government, or whether ANC will be a rural party or semi-rural party. We need to bury our differences and enter the resolutions of this conference to say, how do we approach 2024 collectively? Hopefully the days of insults are gone. Hopefully the days of faction and divisions are gone. We have to confront 2024 and be realistic about that.
Panyaza Lesufi, the Premier of Gauteng, speaking, of course, as the leader of the ANC in Gauteng. Thank you very much indeed. Well.